Good evening, guys. Tony back again, Horror in Todge. Hope everyone's well. Sunday evening here in the UK. Coming back today with a video. I'm going to be doing my 21 slasher movies everyone must see. So I'm a big fan of slasher movies, guys. I know a lot of you guys are. I haven't watched every slasher like some of you guys have. But I'm a really big fan of them. I'm getting my way through my collection. I've got quite a lot. And I've missed quite a lot off this list, but what I'm trying to do is I'm not giving you my favourite slasher movies. I'm going to give you like recommendations and some classics in here, obviously, because I couldn't leave them out, but some maybe that you haven't really heard of, or what I think is a slasher and what you might not. But it's basically, this video is inspired by Joe the Horror Man, Horrific Nightmares JM. I've seen him do this. Andrew Balliner. Check all those guys out. Their lists are awesome. And they know a lot more about slashers than what I do. But we'll go in here and I'll just go through them, not in order, not in any particular order, just 21 slasher movies I think you should see. They've got, quite cool elements to them. Some not as good as others, and some people might say that's not very good, but I enjoyed them and I think people should see them for what they are. So here we go, guys. We'll start up. I'm not going to get too in depth into them, but my number one, number 21, Sleepaway Camp. If you haven't seen this, about a young girl called Angela. Brilliant film, campsite setting, wicked twist at the end. Everyone knows that, surely to God. Definitely get on this. This is a Scream Factory version. Brilliant film, brilliant 80s slasher, guys. So that's Sleepaway Camp. Number 20, Just Before Dawn. Another cool slasher. Sorry about the glare. It's about like two hillbilly brothers going around a forest again. Another sort of campsite setting, which a lot of these 80s slashers were. Going around killing a lot of, just killing teenagers off, basically. It's a really cool film. I really enjoyed the setting. Really good atmosphere about this one. Loved it. Just Before Dawn. And just before I get in really in depth, I'm going to leave all the big ones out, like Halloween, Friday the 13th, Chucky, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. All those slashes I'm leaving out. So these are just sort of single movies or ones, that I really enjoy. Number 19, Children of the Corn, Stephen King. Another 80s classic. Really enjoy this one. About a group of sort of youngsters, teens from Gatlin, a small town, and they just decide to slaughter all the adults, and basically they're summoned by this demon. He walks behind the rows in the corn, and it's sort of telling these kids to kill all the adults. Basically they're trying to take over the world. Really cool film. If you haven't seen that one, guys, that's Children of the Corn. One sticks in my mind. Another slasher classics collection, Graduation Day. Does what it says on the tin. A little bit of a twist in this one. It's Graduation Day, high school stuff, high school slasher, 80s, great fun, loved it. Graduation Day. What was we at? 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. This one's a little bit different. So Blood Hook, not the greatest film in the world, but a slasher with a difference. I've talked about it before. Basically a killer going around killing people with a fishing rod and a treble hook. So that's why I've put this one in here, because it's just a little bit different. Really tongue-in-cheek stuff, corny acting, but not the bloodiest, but really cool watch from Vinegar Syndrome. That's Blood Hook. Number 16 is a classic again, The Burning. If you haven't seen this one, basically like a bit similar to Friday the 13th. I think this one's better than Friday the 13th Part 1 though. Again, sort of a campsite, forest setting, and about a disfigured guy called Cropsey, and he's going around taking revenge on teens and stuff and killing them in all awesome ways. And that raft scene, you all know that one if you know this film. Brilliant film. That's The Burning. Number 15, I think we're at. It doesn't matter about numbers because it's just 21 movies I think you should watch, slashers. So, but one of my favourites, probably my favourite slasher out of the top sort of Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween, Friday the 13th. That's Candyman from the 90s. It always sticks in my mind as a kid. brilliant film about Daniel Robitaille. He becomes the Candyman. Really awesome setting, sort of what is it, like a housing project, but it really had a gritty setting, and yeah, just brilliant acting, brilliant scary performance from Tony Todd as the Candyman, and some great gore and stuff in this. This is a nice addition from our video. But that's Candyman, number 15. Number 14, Edge of the Axe. I suppose a lot of you have seen this now. This is Jose Larraz. Great sort of Spanish slasher. Really good twist in this. A little bit slow in places for people, but I really enjoy this. Cool killer, and the ending. I didn't see the ending coming, but great sort of slasher. Great film. That's Edge of the Axe. I think we're at number 14. Now, some people won't call this a slasher, but I did. It's Pin. I don't think it's never had a Blu-ray release. I don't think. I'd love them to see Vinegar Syndrome or Seven or something bring this one out. It's basically about brother and sister, and their mum and dad are really strict. Their dad's a doctor, and he's got this dummy called Pin, and the boy is little, and as he grows up, it shows him as, you know, a teenager, sort of takes on traits of this sort of doctor's dummy, and basically there's a few kills going on. That's why I'm going to call it a slasher. And really cool sort of psychological thriller as well, I suppose you could call it, but it's got a few slasher elements, so I'm going to call it a slasher. But that's Pin. If you haven't seen that, guys, definitely try and grab a DVD copy. It's a cool film. Where are we now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're getting down them now. Another one, Visiting Hours. If you haven't seen this one, it's what happened in this one again? Yeah, about this TV broadcast, and essentially this psychopath going around, tried to kill this sort of television reporter, and on his way, he slaughters a load of other people. But quite a cool slasher. I really enjoyed it. Visiting Hours. So where are we now? 11, I think. I talked about this the other week. Fade to Black. Put this in here because it's a bit of a different slasher again, guys. It's not just going around with a knife and killing people. I've talked about it before. If you want to watch the video, it's probably down somewhere. And it's basically about this guy who's obsessed with film, and he just dresses up as people from films, gangsters and Dracula and the Mummy, and goes around killing people. He's a bit psychopathic in the head, obviously, but really cool 80s slasher. Fade to Black. We've got, what we've got left for... Yeah, so we're down to... Sorry, this is number 11. I'll say it doesn't matter. April Fool's Day. Nice Vinegar Syndrome release. If you haven't seen this one, this is quite a cool film. These guys go to this island and basically get slaughtered. A load of youngsters again. A lot of these slashers are teens, you know, 80s slashers, but I really love them. Not a lot to them as substance and stuff. If you want, you know, intellectual or something to think about, a slasher isn't for you, but I really enjoyed this. April Fool's Day. Quite a cool film, a nice release from not Vinegar Syndrome. Who are we looking at? Scream Factory, sorry. Getting through them now, guys. I'm not even going to give you them a number no more. Again, Scream Factory, My Buddy Valentine, a classic slasher movie, a lovely release. Basically about these town folk going to this party and leaving these 5 miners down this shaft, and they end up dying. And then years later, Harry Warden, who was one of them, comes back to seek his revenge and start killing people on Valentine's Day. So, really cool movie. My Buddy Valentine, really like that one. This one had a different feel about it. Not the bloodiest. Curtains, if you haven't seen this one. It's basically like a killer, and they're going around with this like this sort of old woman sort of mask, and they're killing people with this scythe, But a really cool concept, and I like this film a lot. So that's Curtains, guys, if you haven't seen that one. Another silly sort of 90s movie, Dr. Giggles. If you haven't seen this, it's basically what it says on the tin. I always remember this in the video store when I was a kid, and yeah, it's basically a doctor going around killing people, and some right cool kills in this, some corny stuff, but another one really cool sort of slasher movie. This is a bit of a different slasher movie, Toby Hooper movie, The Fun House. So Toby Hooper, who bought Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and basically it's about these guys go to a carnival and a fun house, and they get picked off basically by this killer. And there's a few twists and turns in this one. Some really cool costume design, amazing film, I love it, The Fun House. Another one, Slumber Party Massacre, does what it says on the tin. Load of girls from college have a slumber party, so a sleepover in England, and a killer comes round with basically like these big sort of electronic drills, not hydraulic drills, and starts killing them. Yeah, does what it says on the tin. Slumber Party Massacre, cool film. Getting through them now, guys. This is one. Where are we down? We've got 3 left after this one. So I've lost count. But American Gothic, brilliant film. One that I remember as a kid. Again, I used to rent out. I think it was called Hide and Go Seek in England when it was out on VHS. And one that's always stuck with me. About some guys come to this island on a plane, breaks down. Some like yuppies, as they called. And they sort of stumble across these two who are like still living in the Victorian times. They've got these kids, and they basically get picked off. But then halfway through the movie, it turns on its head, and you'll know what I mean if you've seen this. I don't want to give it away. And one of the sort of main girls who's getting picked off sort of turns part of the family. It's really, really strange. Got some creepy moments in it. Especially this girl holding this little doll. You'll know what I mean. But I love this film. American Gothic. This is one of the newer ones I put in there. I should have put more newer ones in, but oh well. And that's Terrafire. Damien Leone film from a few years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago. I think they're bringing Terrafire 2 out this year, and it's this is a nice lenticular look. Nice set with a, I don't know, steelbook and stuff from Cine Museum. But Terrafire basically is about a clown called Art, and there's a couple of girls, and he just bumps into them basically on they're coming out from a night out a bit drunk and in like a fast food restaurant, and he sort of just bumps into them and then decides to chase them around this warehouse, and it's really gruesome. Not a lot to it, really gritty. And Art is terrifying, and like I say, some of the best gore in this. To say it's ain't got the biggest budget, but Art I think it's going to be around for a long time as one of the sort of modern sort of day slashers. So yeah, really cool film, Terrafire. Last 2 now, guys. So we'll go with this one, Victor Crowley, Hatchet, #1. Now there's a lot of these. There's about 4 or 5 of them. I think there's 4. Victor Crowley. It's about this like guy who lives in the swamp, and he's all deformed and stuff. He looks a bit like the Elephant Man, and really massive guy, huge, and he just likes to slaughter people with hatchets and stuff and pulling them apart. He's really strong. So a lot of gore to this. It's a nice media book from Germany. If you can see that without my light shine on, it's night time here, but yeah, and really gory guys. So he's really strong, so when he's hitting them with his axe, he's splitting them in 2. He's pulling the mouths open and ripping the heads off. He's really, yeah, just really, really out there, you know, 2000s sort of slasher. So it's one of the moderner ones, but like Terrafire. But a really cool film and a really cool franchise. Like I say, I haven't gone into the big franchises. And my last one, guys, if we call it #1 or number 21, is Slaughter High, which I know will be on a lot of people's list to watch. Really cool sort of revenge slasher with a guy called Marty who dresses up in this like jester's hat. He's sort of been picked on, and you know, this bad accident happened to him in a high school, and he comes back a few years later when all the guys are sort of married to sort of have a school reunion. And lots of cool practical effects in this. I really love the practical effects in this. Like there's guts bursting out of tummies. There's all sorts, acid baths, and a really weird sex scene, which is a cool sort of electrocution scene. Lots of good practical effects in this, and really funny sort of high school practical, you know, stuff, but practical effects, I was meant to say. But really good film. I love this 80s slasher. It's one of my favourites. So there's my 21 films, guys. 21 slashers. Tell me if you've seen them. If you haven't, there's lots I've missed out though, guys. There's like almost slasher classics collection from 88 Films. They're all slashers. They're all pretty decent. Some bad ones in there. Really love Intruder as well. Tourist Trap from the 70s. That is awesome. What else did I watch? There's loads of slashers, isn't there? There's all the Friday the 13th, there's all the Nightmare on Elm Street, there's all the Halloweens, there's all the Chuckies, there's, you know, everything. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, whatever you want to say. But they're the ones I've picked out for you guys. What I enjoy as slasher movies. So not a lot to them, but I really like them. You can just put them on any time and have a good time with them. So hope you enjoyed this, guys. Check out all the other guys. Just put in 21 slasher movies you must see, and everyone who's sort of participated in this, you'll see them all. So you probably get some better recommendations as well of them guys, because they know a lot about them. But really like a slasher movie. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I've been Tony. I'll catch you all later for the next video. Thanks for watching.